Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday. It is 9 p.m. GMT, I believe. Yes, it's 9 p.m. GMT. A little bit over because we ran over. It is a very special celebration day, hence the celebratory hat and also the bunting behind me. My name is Mike Smith, also known as Screaming Joypad, and this is the GOGCast. Now, I am joined today at the virtual table by some of our stream team and also a special developer guest. So let's get the volume up on Skype and let's introduce first of all, our special guest, Mr. Leon Zawada, the lead developer from the development team. Sorry?
Lead level designer.
Lead level designer. That's because I don't look at my notes before the show because I'm a professional. Lead level designer for the developers of Bombshell. It's fantastic to have you on the show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Cool. We've also got, moving kind of rotationally on the screen at the moment, we have the one, the only, the wonderful PiranJade. Thank you very much for joining us, PiranJade.
Always a pleasure to be here.
And also the man, the myth, the legend himself, MegapiemanPHD. Thank you, Megapieman.
Hi, how's it going? What's up?
Oh, there's no saucy intro. I was expecting you to say, you may know me from youtube.com/MegapiemanPHD.
I can't do that every week, then people start to expect it, alright?
And last but by no means least, my doppelganger, my Canadian cousin, if you will, Flaose. Thank you very much,
How are you doing, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Excellent stuff. Again, we'd always have you on. I'd have all of you on. I'd have everybody on if I could fit you all on the screen.
22 people in a podcast. That would be insane.
Yes, it would. It'd be a riot, basically. We'd literally be organising a riot. Now, as many of you may know, the GOGCom channel today, in fact, got partnered with Twitch. Now, I believe PiranJade has this is something we've been working towards for a very long time, hence the party hat and also the party poppers. There you go. There's a party popper now all over my webcam. And those things stink when you set them off in closed spaces. Oh my days. Right, anyway, I believe PiranJade's got all of the important details in regards to that you were saying just before the show. Is that not right, PiranJade?
Yeah, I think there are more people working behind the scenes, like, of course, Outstar, like always, took the brunt of the work. But if there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Or if there are no questions, I will just talk a little about why I want to be partnered and why we decided to go with a charity partnership and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I can do that.
Well, why don't you explain what the charity partnership is?
Oh, I can totally do that. So if you subscribe to the GOGCom Twitch channel, all the money that normally GOG would get from the subscription will go to the Able Gamers charity. Able Gamers is a really, really cool charity which enables gamers to, game. And them being healthy is a gift, and it's a gift that can be taken from any one of us at every time. We all want to keep gaming and playing. It's really, really important to have something like Able Gamers who helps people do that exactly. And also a special shout out to Hatnix, one of our wonderful chat members, who is an enabled gamer. He plays games with one hand, and so he often asks in chat, can you play this game with one hand and everything? And on his Twitter channel, which you should totally follow, he also presents the solution he builds for himself to play games with one hand and like that. And so when we were talking about what kind of charity we could get behind, I had to think a lot about him because he gave me like a new perspective, because I would want to continue gaming no matter what, and so it's good to see that there are ways and there are people making that possible.
Excellent, absolutely fantastic. I did not realize that community member Hatnix was actually an enabled gamer or a disabled gamer. Rather, that's genuinely is put a different spin on how I see them.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
So I know there are people like, so why does the subscription money not go to the stream team? Which is a question I can understand, because money is good. We all like money. But it would be, of course, first it would be a bit weird, like if GOG takes the subscription money and then gives it to us. But then the other thing is, and I think that's a little bit behind the scenes, you have to see that we're like a huge team from all kinds of nations, from all different ways of life, all very, very different characters with different opinions and all kind of that. And so we all need to find ways to like get along in harmony behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And so if we were talking about could we even distribute the money in some way, like this the subscription go to the people on whose stream is going to be subscribed, or by hours, or by viewers per hours, or by concurrent viewers per hours, by some kind of big mathematical thing. But all of that would it's just a way to make people unhappy in the end.
Yeah, it would have been a mess.
But giving money to charity makes everybody on the stream team really, really happy.
Yes.
So in the end, it's the best for all. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy. And so we finally got partnership, and we got emoticons, and we can be on the front page, and we have people at Twitch to talk to, and everything is awesome.
Yeah. I think we get like actual human beings to talk to at Twitch and everything, don't we? We get like people we can ask questions to and find out information that we wouldn't have access to. So it's really cool. So we'll be able to kind of use that to our advantage in regards to putting on special events and doing all the sort of sexy, saucy stuff that we would like to do, essentially.
I don't know, Mike. I have yet to see any of the people from Twitch, so they very well could just be robots and/or AI.
Well, I actually am followed by two people who work at Twitch. Now, I don't know if they're real people, but they certainly, if they're not, they're very well programmed robots. They've got really good algorithms in there.
I mean, I just saw a tweet from the Tower of Guns dev saying that his phone has got to the point where it's auto-correcting his typos as other typos. So, so the AI is learning how to act more human.
My God, it's using tools.
It's learning.
It'll be using rudimentary tools and making food next. What are we gonna do? Okay, so yeah, so if you've got any questions in regards to the partnership, then by all means, shout out in chat, and we'll try and answer the questions. As always, you can use the you can tag any of us if you've got specific questions for people on the GOGCast. Tag any of us. We'll try and answer them as and when we can. Essentially, now there has been quite a few games released in the past week or so, and I've got a list of them here. So what we're normally going to do is we'll talk through the games that have been released recently, and then we'll move on to my personal favourite, what we've been playing recently. And I've actually been playing games recently, which is really cool.
My.
I know! I've not just been sat watching Twitch.
Candy Crush?
My.
Candy Crush? Been playing Candy Crush?
No, I haven't been playing Candy Crush. I know you had a Candy Crush story, didn't you? You've been tweeting about a Candy Crush story with your family recently.
Yes, my dad beat Candy Crush. He didn't put any money into it.
There's an ending?
It took him a long time. There's like 5,000, not 5,000, like 500 levels or so. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
But he showed me. He's very proud of the fact that he beat it and didn't put any money into it. Like,
Excellent.
5 months before he beat it, he kind of told me, he's like, man, I'm really tired of Candy Crush. But he just kept on. I don't know what he's going to do. I guess maybe he's going to move on to the Candy Soda, or the Soda Crush saga, or whatever it is. I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, there's others now, isn't there? Now he's going to go on to sort of the imitation Candy Crush games.
Be the one person who beats all of them and puts no money into it.
That's it.
You gotta get on to
him.
Banner Saga.
Oh,
Say, Dad,
man.
hey, this is a new saga,
Yeah.
completely different.
Just imagine the Candy Crush saga reimagined in a gritty, real-world fantasy environment. Excellent stuff. So yeah, I think one of the biggest pieces of news in regards to GOG recently has been the games in dev. Hi, PiranJade, you okay?
Yes! The Video Game Carnage is in chat!
Oh, hi, Video Game
Hello,
Carnage.
Video Game Carnage!
For the benefit of our audio only listeners, when this finally goes up on audio only, Video Game Carnage is one of our additional streamers. Essentially, he streamed here for a very long time. He's one of my fellow countrymen with a saucy accent and a sassy mouth.
That means he's British.
Yes, that means he's British. Just for those of you who didn't know, who don't know where I'm from. Yeah, so I think the biggest piece of news recently has been the games in dev, essentially. So the games in development, where it's if you want to get access to a game early, but don't want to, you want a curated version of this, then, GOG have got you covered. So we've got games like Project Zomboid, which we're playing just before this stream. We've got games like TerraTech, that sort of thing. Tons and tons of others. We went through the full list of them that are currently available, last week. And there are a couple of others as well. Now, the one that I'm most excited about on the list at the minute is The Long Dark by Hinterland Games. And this is a game that I've specifically waited to see if it would come to GOG. I bought it. I specifically waited to see if it would come to GOG before I actually started playing it. And I'm genuinely super excited. It's basically like a first-person survival game, and that's kind of all I know about it. I've seen a couple of trailers where people are like raiding buildings and not dungeons, but almost dungeons, if you will, to kind of try and find shelter and find food, this sort of thing. And it just looks like one of those games that I will be terrible at, but I will not stop playing for weeks. I wondered if anybody else was interested in it or had played it recently.
I played it a long time ago, when around the time when it first hit Steam Early Access. I'm glad to see that it's coming to GOG because it's a good looking game.
It is.
I mean, you only get at the moment you only get the one environment of snow and snow and snow. I don't know if they plan on adding any more other environments. From my understanding, the whole idea of the name The Long Dark is because, like, upwards of northern Canada, as you closer to the Arctic Circle, like there's whole months that go where there's no sun.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty crazy.
It's that sort of a thing. When I played The Long Dark, it was the biggest thing with that was just trying not to freeze to death. They did have wolves in the game. That was the only thing that existed that you kind of had to worry about, was not getting eaten alive by wolves. You could get attacked by wolves. They would sort of hunt you down, but there weren't that many of them. And at one point, I think I found a hydroelectric dam that had a gun in it, and that was the end of my problem with wolves. But it's got a lot of really cool ideas. Searching through like dark, abandoned areas. You are, at least when I played it, you were the only person who sort of is in this rural town area. So there's like a frozen summer camp that you can search through. There's a town area. There's a clubhouse area. There's the dam area. It was interesting. The biggest problem that there was when I played it was that there wasn't a whole lot to do outside of just searching through stuff. Like you could go on a lake and you could search through fishing huts of people who cut a hole in the ice and were fishing. Yeah. But outside of just searching for stuff, there wasn't anything like a crafting system or anything like that. It was just trying to not freeze to death.
Which
you
makes
also
sense.
had to worry
that's
about
kind of real
hunting,
life, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of like the concept behind Don't Starve, really, isn't it?
I'm trying to remember. Now, when I played, there was a train car, and there was a guy who was frozen solid on the train car. I can't remember if the game let you eat him or not, because you could come around, you could find like frozen carcasses of deer. I don't remember if you could find them alive and shoot them and then harvest them, but I know you could come along the frozen carcasses of deer, and depending upon how frozen it was, you could scavenge it and try to get meat off of it. I don't remember if it let you do that with people, and if they didn't, they're missing a big opportunity right there.
This is for your games with cannibalism list.
Yes, this is my GOG mix of games with cannibalism in them that I'm working on.
Wow. You're slowly but surely working on.
I am very surprised to find how many games actually feature cannibalism. I thought I would have a list of, like, Fallout and, like, that's about it. But no, there's a lot of them.
Right, so, yeah, there you go.
On that note...
on that bombshell. Nice,
oh my god.
Nice segue. Also released recently. Yeah. Did you like that? That was smooth. That was smooth as silk, baby. Right, so yeah, Bombshell has also been released. Now, I will throw my hands up in the air and turn around and say, I do not know Bombshell the game. And I can only apologise about this because I'm a consummate professional. I do literally 0% research on any of the games that I talk about. So... Leon, tell us what Bombshell is. Sell it to me.
Well, Bombshell is a game about a lady called Bombshell. Surprise.
Yep. I'm with you so far.
So, what you do is, it's sort of it's an action game where you shoot a whole bunch of aliens.
You're doing a good job. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Go for it.
Hang on, this is so difficult. You save the president of the United States who's been captured by aliens.
Liking it.
She's been captured by a devious mad professor who is in cahoots with the aliens. so you have to track them, track her down across multiple planets, fighting various enemies and environments that are all against you. It's a very sort of throwback in terms of story and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all action, and you can upgrade your guns. She's got powers. You can punch aliens. She's got like a sword. It's got a whole bunch of stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Okay, cool. So what sort of, as the game actually controls, what kind of control is it? Is it first person? Is it third person? Is it asymmetric?
It's a twin stick shooter.
I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm in. That's it. Done.
It's twin stick. You can play with controller. You can play with keyboard with the sort of a FPS style controls with the WASD on the keyboard and mouse, which is pretty cool. And we're working on a patch right now where you can hot swap the controller. So if you just straight plug the controller in, it should work.
Oh my days, that sounds good.
But it's it's pretty cool. We've done some stuff from the top down, because it's from the top down. Done sort of like thought about what could we do that would be sort of different to the usual sort of just like flat ground or whatever. So we decided to do something that would show off a lot of visual depth.
Yeah.
We've put in a planet called Chiron, which is where the aliens are from, is falling into a dying star. So for the sort of first episode of the game, you've got this background of this huge thing falling into the sun. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I think the coolest part of the game is Bombshell's arm is a sort of a robot that can come off, walk around, change into different guns, solve puzzles. It's pretty neat.
Is it the thing from Reboot? Does anybody remember the animated series Reboot?
Yeah,
I think I'm the only person on the planet. Or not the only person on the planet.
Glitch.
Glitch. Thank you. Glitch from Reboot.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember that. So we've got a sort
References.
of I don't know how to put this, collage of 90s stuff. Because we're really big fans, of course, 3D Realms.
Yep.
Which we are now somehow. And we really love all that kind of stuff. We love that sort of not really getting too sort of caught up on details and sort of why should this happen, why should that happen. It's more about what would be fun. That's kind of how we always sort of make our decisions. It's not like, oh, does that make does that make sense with the story? We're kind of like, yeah, we'll find some way to write it in. It's
we definitely want this to happen. Let's make a way this can happen.
Yeah, but I definitely think it's worth searching out, have a look at some videos and stuff, and then give it a try.
Nice sales pitch. I like it. Maybe you should go watch some videos of it, and maybe you should give it a try, and maybe you should go and buy it on GOG.com.
Definitely.
And get the digital deluxe version, so you get the prequel FPS game.
Yeah.
Look at this guy looking for commission down here. Look at this guy.
There's a build engine prequel we're working on as well, which is insanely amazing, because I'm all about those 2.5D games, like Doom, Duke Nukem, Dark Forces behind me there. All those kind of games, they're great, and it's really awesome to see this coming along. I think it's going to be pretty big. Surprisingly, I reckon it will be pretty big.
Just hearing that somebody is making like a new build engine or build engine era kind of FPS has got me kind of excited. People they just don't make games like that anymore. And I kind of understand why they kind of got away from like key cards and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they got away from like almost all of the kind of level design or anything from that, which is a shame because those games are great.
It's kind of cool to sort of go abstract rather than realistic, and it's really easy to do that in 2.5D because you're kind of limited in what you can make look realistic, so you tend to go for something out there which really would be more fun to play rather than looks good. But this is going to be both, because these guys that are making it are all like the top dudes of the build engine, and it's just awesome. We've got like one or two screenshots out there, but like hopefully we'll be releasing some more soon, and they are fantastic. I have seen so many cool things, and I'm hyped for that.
Nice.
I'm not working on it myself. I wish I was, Yeah.
Something
That
I do
sounds
want to
good.
ask you while I got you here, and I don't know how much you can answer this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
From well, I had the pleasure of playing Bombshell. It's an all right game. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorite games, but it's not terrible. I think you guys did a pretty decent job with it. But the question that I want to ask you guys about is the game started as like the revitalization, from what I understand, of a Duke Nukem game, but then because Gearbox now owns the brand, you guys can no longer use it. How was it sort of trying to, because Bombshell was a character that existed somewhat in that universe at some point. How was it trying to sort of work around the fact that you can no longer use the Duke brand and sort of had to make your own character?
Well, Bombshell was a character that was already designed in the
that.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was planned after Scott Miller watched a movie called Barbed Wire with Emily Anderson.
I knew it.
Yeah. So she
Of
was,
all the movies,
Yeah.
Barbed Wire.
Yeah.
So I think they even had the website registered back in like '95 or something. Joe Siegler was telling me, and so they've been sitting on this one for ages. And she's gone through a lot of different sort of phases and designs. There's lots of concept art of her floating about. But we found this one with her with like a big robot arm, and we were like, wow, like that looks really cool. And it was a good, jump point to go from and sort of come up with some stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
So
Oh,
we
nice.
gave it the arm its own personality and stuff. It's like they called it originally. It was called PC, just because of the PC Master Race, and then decided to call it Amiga, which means friend in Spanish. If it's female, female friend, so it fits well.
Excellent stuff.
It's that double entendre, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. No, I'm interested in it now. Obviously, you said basically kind of over the top 90s action, twin stick shooter, and 3D Realms and Duke Nukem. So I'm kind of like, that's an awful lot of boxes that can be ticked inside my brain, and I kind of like have to say, oh, how much is this game? Let's just buy it anyway. So I'm definitely going to be checking it out. So I think sorry.
Oh, we're still working on it too. We're hard working on patches and stuff. Because and we'll probably have some more content coming for it, probably at the end of the month or so, but can't confirm.
Nice.
But yeah, we're definitely working on the game, and it's coming out for consoles as well.
Excellent.
So
Excellent
if you are a console fan, you'll be able to pick it up
I'm
there.
a console fan.
And it's
I'm
a different
filthy console
team
player.
doing the port of the console version, isn't it?
It's us and them. We're both doing it
Oh,
okay.
together, hand in hand, holding hands. Yeah.
Holding hands, nice.
Nice. I think we may be joined in chat by some of your comrades in arms who are sharing some screenshots. If people in chat are interested in this,
Really?
I think so.
Nice.
Yeah. JD_2020 says it's JD from 3D Realms.
It's Josh. Yeah.
Yep, and also Intercept Entertainment has also started posting some screenshots as well. So I believe some of your work colleagues are currently sat in chat at the minute.
Nice. The backup.
Yeah, you've got backup. They've got you covered. Also, for the benefit of the video on demand on YouTube and also audio only listeners, you should really check it out on Twitch as it happens, because it's it's super exciting. So yeah, very much looking forward to playing Bombshell. I must admit, I'm more excited now than I was, obviously, because I didn't know anything about it, and like I said, it's kind of ticked a few boxes for me. So what else has come out this week? We've got Tropico Collector's Edition, which we won't touch on because Megapaman might go into a blind rage.
Why?
We'll do nothing. We'll skip past it.
I like Tropico. Tropico's good.
You just have to see, Megapaman is the best tyrant you can ever have in a video game.
Oh yeah,
It's just really, really
Tropico
awesome.
5 is not a bad game.
Oh, no, what have I done?
It's got some things in it I'm not a fan of, but it's all right.
No, I'm so
it's only the
sorry.
gold edition.
Well, yeah, we've got Tropico Collector's Edition that's been released recently on GOG. For those of you
I can't
interested.
find anything on the internet about the Tropico 5 gold edition, so who the crap knows what's in it?
What does that include? I was about to ask.
I do not know. I'm skipping over this because I don't know. I'm more than happy just to say it's out there now, and the details will be on the website.
Well, it
12
probably
DLC. It says
Yeah,
12
there's
DLC.
the-
Wow.
there's a map pack DLC. There's a T-Day DLC. There's a supercomputer DLC.
So essentially,
Nice.
we're thinking it might be all of the DLC released for it.
Well, that's
Yes.
what Tropico 4 Gold Edition was.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd probably consider
Well,
that.
it says complete a collection, so it better be complete, right?
Oh, yeah, you'd certainly hope so.
You never know these days.
Yeah. Another one of the games that have been released this week is Thea the Awakening. I think it's Thea or Thea.
Yes.
I saw Donis playing this on stream, and it just looks so strange. I think it was Donis playing it. It just looks so strange.
Outstar.
Was it Outstar?
Yeah,
Which
it was
one was Donis?
Outstar.
Outside at the release stream. Yeah, it was a Kickstarter project,
Oh, was
and it looked so good.
Oh,
I
I'm thinking of- I'm
very,
thinking
very
of the other
rarely back any Kickstarter projects, but
Yeah.
Thea the Awakening had me nearly do it. I have to admit,
Oh,
it looked
nice.
so good, and I think it's by a Polish developer team.
I
And
believe so too.
Muha Games.
Muha Games, yeah.
it's one of the games that I will have a closer look at and that I might actually buy for myself. I have to admit.
Nice. I mean,
And I very
it's not
rarely
the one I
buy
was
games
thinking
these days.
of. You get so much enjoyment out of playing Ultima Underworld all the time.
You know, that is. I think it was the first or second game I got on GOG when I joined in 2011 or 2012.
Wow.
And I'm still playing
Yeah.
it. So yeah, and I mean it's Ultima Underworld 1 and Ultima Underworld 2 together for $5.99. So that was a really, really good investment, I have to say.
Still available on GOG.com.
Yes. and I'm currently playing a playthrough of Ultima Underworld 2 unarmed every Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT.
Nice
Right
plug.
here.
I like it. Nice
Be
plug.
there.
Awesome.
I've got to admit, like I probably say this every single week, but I think I'm still obsessed. Not obsessed, but I still find myself like subconsciously listening to the Ultimate Underworld soundtrack because PiranJade used to stream before me on a Sunday, and I'd always end up listening to like the last like hour or so of her stream, and I just hear the music constantly, and it's the fight music. I don't know what it is about the fight music. It's just every now and then I'll be at work and I've just got it on my random playlist, and it'll just kick in, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's like Sunday all over again. I instantly associate that music with it being Sunday at like 9 p.m. or like 10 p.m. or something like that.
Ultima Underworld 2 is the game that made me afraid of trees.
Tree.
Trees, because that's the game that's
Yeah.
got it's like called the Reaper or something, which
Yes, it's the
it's a
Reaper.
tree. It's just a tree. And
Yeah.
it will horribly murder you.
You're okay,
Yes.
Pieman. It's a safe place. You can talk about
Yes,
these
it
things.
It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's a tree. That's not going to be a problem. Dead.
Paimon,
Again.
Paimon, I redeemed you. I killed that tree on my last stream.
Good.
You punched a tree to death.
Punched a tree
Yes, of
to
course.
death. There should be an honor badge for that.
I really needed that because the stream before that was the Scantilus Academy. And hello, Mr. Level Designer. If you ever look at that level, that's not how you do it. It's really, really hard.
So
And
what you're saying
As
is
much
that
as I like the
PiranJade-
development team behind that, but that I don't know what happened to them that day. It's really,
They were having an off day. They were all off sick. The janitor did it. It's fine.
yeah, something like that. I think so. The intern did it, and then they fired the intern. I don't know. It's I so love the series, but that level nearly broke me.
Oh, dearie me.
What you're saying, PiranJade, is that you turned the game into Minecraft because you were punching trees?
Oh God. Maybe that's where they got the idea from.
Anybody get
No
that?
response.
Anyone
Yeah,
get that at all?
yeah.
Is that funny? Is
Yeah,
that funny?
yeah. Well, we got it.
It's all right.
Whether it's funny or not, we're not gonna pass judgment. We all understood it. Okay, so yeah, Fear the Awakening. It's not the game I'm thinking of. Then I can't remember the game I'm thinking of that I watched Donis play. But I'm out in regards to Fear the Awakening. Then I don't know
I
much
can't
about
figure
it.
out what kind of game this is. I'm looking at it. It's like strategy, RPG, indie, survival, turn-based. That tells me nothing.
Wow, that is a big
That's a
list.
lot of game types to throw into one game.
Yeah.
Outstar was so kind to say that Thea is a game about a yo. So there you have
There
it.
you go. Nice and yeah, okay. That's why she's not invited on the podcast anymore. She knows what she did.
That's completely unhelpful.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so I think we will move quickly on. Talking of, I actually don't know if this is a segue. Talking of Minecraft, there's a game called Craft the World that has been released. Anyone at all know anything about Craft the World?
Just
No.
I ignored that one.
This is
It
amazing.
looks like Terraria, and
I mean-
by saying it looks like Terraria, someone in chat's probably going to be like, "It's not Terraria." Just because it's 2D with blocks doesn't mean it's this other game.
So it's Starbound.
Yeah.
Actually, the graphics kind of remind me a little bit more of SteamWorld Heist or SteamWorld Dig. not
SteamWorld
Heist,
Dig.
Heist,
Oh man,
SteamWorld
SteamWorld Dig.
SteamWorld Dig was a fun game.
SteamWorld Dig was a fun game. SteamWorld Dig was very, very fun. Is SteamWorld Dig available on GOG?
I think it actually is.
There
Let
you
me
go.
make sure it
Yeah.
is.
Available
is.
on your DRM
I
free
think
game
somebody
store.
streamed it.
I think I've got it on.
Yes, SteamWorld Dig is on GOG.
Nice.
SteamWorld
nice
Heist
search.
is not. It's only available on mobile, and it makes me upset because I want to play the game.
I didn't even
and
know that
why
was a
do they
game.
only put it out on mobile?
I didn't even realize that was only a
Time
game.
for an
that was even a
upgrade.
game. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, SteamWorld Dig. I really enjoyed SteamWorld Dig. I got it free for PlayStation 4 a while ago on PS Plus, and it was one of those games that I go back to every now and then. Until I finally completed it, and now I'm playing it for the third or fourth time. I think I can't quite remember. It's one of those games. It's one of my sort of crack addiction games where basically like I'll find myself. I'll come home and I'll just sit down and I go, oh yeah, I'm going to relax tonight. And like 2 hours later, I'm still playing SteamWorld Dig. I'm just like,
Well, it's short enough to be
what was I
played through a
doing?
couple of times.
Yeah. Well, it is if you're not terrible at video games. I, however, am terrible at video games. So, that's why I host a podcast and I don't play them. So Craft the World, I don't really know much about it. I can only apologize. It sounds interesting. It's got one of those names where it makes me sort of think, if it's going to be like Terraria, then, I'm kind of already in on that. But if it's going to be a little bit more like Minecraft, then I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. But
The excerpt here says, Craft the World is a unique sandbox strategy game, a mix of Dungeon Keeper, Terraria, and Dwarf Fortress. Explore a random generated world populated by dangerous creatures, build a dwarf fortress, hence why it's inspired by Dwarf Fortress.
yeah.
Gather resources and craft all the items, weapons, and armor you need.
I see.
There you go.
Nice. Very
That's
nice.
the little excerpt.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
2D Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah.
Oh, look there, the emoticons are coming in.
Oh yeah. For the appreciation of our subscribers, we now have custom emoticons. If you want to find out what they are in chat, just ask one of our moderators or stream staff, because I don't know what they are.
They are GOGCom Dead, GOGCom Free, GOGCom Sud, GOGCom Save. So GOGCom Dead is technical difficulties, GOGCom Free is DRM free, GOGCom Sud is for suddenly, GOGCom Save is for save the game, please. Because they don't put autosaves in old games.
I think that one may have been inspired by yourself. I'm not gonna lie. I
And
know
we'll
it's
we'll get more emoticons as soon as we have more subscribers. But
absolutely.
looking how the subscriptions are going today, that might happen pretty soon.
Absolutely, it's going well. I've got to admit, I personally would like to thank every single person who's subscribed today.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I'm one of them as well. I don't really mind.
I was
Man
the
was number
first.
one. He was the
I
first.
was the first.
Yes,
He was the
Megapieman
first.
was our very, very first subscriber.
Excellent. It will go down in the history books.
I will always have that above all of you.
Yes.
Remember that.
Wow,
Somebody claim it on
and
tax.
modest too. I like it. Okay, so moving swiftly on, because we're going to be cutting the episode short a little bit. So we're going to be finishing at about 10:30, because we have to get ready for our big Unreal tournament. I guess.
that's right,
is
that's
what
happening
you could-
today.
Yeah, that's happening today.
Championship!
Yeah, Unreal Tournament Championship. Thank you very much, PiranJade. So I also need, because I've been streaming since 7 p.m. So I've been streaming for a few hours now. So I'll also need a
You're
very
crazy.
short break before streaming for another few hours. So we will be taking a short break at 10:30. So we'll be ending the episode early. Speaking of ending the episode early, I'm going to try and rattle through the rest of the games that have been released this week. So I know that people were interested in the Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders, which is available on GOG. Megapieman, you were quite interested in that, weren't you?
I was interested in it. Tomorrow, EA is going to be streaming it. It looks
there you
cool.
go.
I've not played it, so I don't know anything about it. It's a point-and-click adventure game.
Excellent stuff. It looks good from what I've seen of it, and this is one of the few games I've actually had a look at. But from what I've seen of it, it actually looks really nice. It graphically it even looks good as well.
Yeah, Ebenezer will do the release stream tomorrow,
Mhm.
and Arv and Elrond will do a series on the game. I don't know if the series will start next week already or the week after that, but he'll do a series on it. Because they were like the biggest Agatha Christie fans we had, and they were close to fighting over it, and
Yeah.
so we found a peaceful solution for that.
Excellent. So what else have we got? We've also got Starcrawlers by Juggernaut Games, which is also one of our games in development, and which will come as no surprise to anybody. I know very little about this game.
Well,
I
Streamhead,
streamed it
I think,
today.
knows a lot.
Sorry?
I streamed Starcrawlers today. The game's interesting. It was described to me as like Legend of Grimrock, but in space. It's not. It plays decently. You have that grid you move along like in a dungeon crawler, but battles don't take place in that grid. Battles take place in like a separate turn-based thing. I mean, you can see the enemies move around. Think like, I don't know, I guess like maybe Pokemon or something when you have the battle. But the battle is very interesting because it follows along a time scale for everybody's, I think the word is like initiative. Kind of like, depending upon what the character is, what the stats of that character is, and what moves they have will depend upon the order that they actually attack in. And there are some really cool moves by some of the classes, like the Hacker, that actually lets you manipulate that order. So you can use a move to try to make the Hacker go again. Like, you can have the Hacker go and use a move so they go again right after themselves, which is useless, but you can do it. There's also a thing called Overclock that takes the person who has the longest time before the next turn and boosts them up so you can have more of your people attack before the enemy attacks. The thing that I learned is after I streamed the game, and then while you guys were doing Zomboid today, I played a bit more of it, and I found out that basically when I was streaming it, I played the game completely incorrectly.
Surprise!
Wow, that's Ooh, you play a game incorrectly. Carry on.
I started a brand new save file when I was playing it after the stream, because when I was on stream, you start as one character, and the way I was playing is I was kind of upgrading the character that I had, which is not how you play the game. What you need to do is you need to get a party of Starcrawlers. You need to get a group of people as quickly as you can. The problem I was having is I had like one, at the maximum 2 people in my party, and I was going up against enemies that were like 4 or 5 different enemies, and they would do, because there were so many of them, they would just whittle my health down to absolutely nothing. There was nothing I could do about it. So you've got to get as big of a party as you possibly could. I picked one of the more specialized classes of the Void Psyker, which died rather quickly. So it's a cool class to have, but not a good class to start with. When I started my second save file, I went as the soldier, and things went a lot better. In my second save file, I also started naming everybody after Metal Gear characters. So my Cyber Ninja was Raiden.
Yep.
My Hacker was Otacon. My Smuggler, I named him Drebin. I think I named the Void Psyker Psyker Mantis.
Nice.
Because you can name all the characters.
Mantis.
It's
like
a really interesting game, but very quickly, from the first time I played it, I didn't really understand what I was doing wrong. And now that I know what I'm doing wrong, the second playthrough is definitely going better. So if you pick up this game, focus on building your party and making money. Because if you don't do that, you're going to die a lot.
Okay, yeah. Top pro tips from Mr. PiranJade there. Thank you very much for that. On Starcrawlers, which you said you streamed that today?
Yes.
Excellent stuff. I'm going to have to check out the VOD on that one.
Don't. It's awful.
You say that about all of your streams, and you're like, everybody really likes our streams, including myself.
Bad.
Including myself. Right, so we shall move swiftly on. Unless anybody else has anything to say about Starcrawlers.
No.
I take that as a no. Okay, so moving swiftly on to my personal favourite section, what we have been playing recently. So I'm going to start with our special guest. Essentially, this is what any games you may have been playing recently. You can include your own one as well. That's absolutely fine.
I was going to say, I'm going to guess he's probably playing Bombshell.
Well, probably, yeah, but that's fine. You can talk about it for a bit longer. That's okay. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Aside from that, I like every now and then, you got to just take a break. But I usually sort of turning to like City Skylines or something. It's just so
good choice.
It's kind of cathartic to play something like that where you don't you just chill and
you don't think.
You don't have to do anything. Nobody expects anything of you.
Yeah.
Aside from if you like poison the town by like sucking in the sewage by accident or something, which happened to me once. But
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I've been playing that a bit of Titanfall. I quite like that. 'Cause
I
it's
think
quite fast
Outstar.
paced.
Yeah, Outstar used
Yeah.
to be a fan of Titanfall as well. I enjoyed it for the weekend. Everyone played it.
Yeah. And just
horrible.
what else have we got? Final Fantasy VIII recently.
Oh,
A couple of,
good choice.
but I don't have much time. But I really blitz it when I play them. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it from me.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you on the whole City Skylines thing. It's one of those games that I actually only got into it recently, and I found myself it's one of those kind of zen games where I'm so used to city builders now that I go into this weird sort of almost meditative state, and I'm just like I'm just doing things, and I'm doing them automatically. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing, and stuff is just happening in front of me, and I'm just like 3 hours later I could be still sat there, and I'm just sort of thinking what was I even doing originally before I started building this entire expansion of my city? I think I just wanted to move a lamppost or something like that. And suddenly I've got suddenly I've got like an entire new borough halfway down the map.
And it's kind of meditative with all that really calm music and like bling sounds, just like really chimey sounds.
Yeah.
It's like you're outside or something.
I think
it's
that
nice.
and the that and the SimCity, the latest SimCity soundtrack are probably my favourite city builder soundtracks. I mean, Cities in Motion does okay, but the City Skylines one, apart from the damn
Cities in Motion
seagulls,
is better because Cities in Motion is on GOG.
Cities in Motion, I gotta admit, I didn't think I'd enjoy Cities in Motion nearly as much as I did, but I got super obsessed with that game. I got horribly obsessed with just transport management, and like 5 hours later, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to reevaluate everything I've done to make me do this. Every decision I've made that has brought me to this point. Anyway, we shall go around the table. PiranJade, what have you been playing recently?
I played the second episode of The Last Door yesterday, and I got very scared.
What is The Last Door?
The Last Door is a point-and-click adventure. It was also a Kickstarter game. Very small project by a Spanish developer. Comes with the most excellent soundtrack ever by Carlos Viola.
Wow, that is...
The game and actually, if you buy the game, you get the soundtrack. So if you're just in for really good soundtracks, it's worth for just that. So it's a pixelated point-and-click adventure, and it's really, really scary. And I played the first episode and part of the second last year in June, I think. And Chad always asked me to continue it, and so I did yesterday. And so I played the second episode and part of the third. It has 4 episodes in the first season. Second season should be coming out soon.
Nice.
And and while I was doing that on stream, Ebenezer sneaked up on me from behind and scared me, and I nearly killed our headphone users on stream.
Right, definitely watching that one later tonight.
There's a highlight of that.
Was it? Oh, fantastic.
And I also played a few minutes of Unreal Tournament today, just to see how it works with the new mouse I got for Christmas.
Yep.
And I played in Onslaught mode, and I got run over by my own teammates in their vehicles all the time.
Nice.
So
that sounds very familiar.
Let's see how it goes later today. One game I want to play as soon as I really find some more time to do it is The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. I finally really want to play through that. Like, I have it on my desktop, like in the center of my desktop, to remind me it's still there. One day, you'll get to it. And so that's the next thing that I want to play for myself.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent stuff. That sounds like you've had quite a productive week. That sounds quite good. I'm interested in the is it The Last Door that it's called?
Yeah, The Last Door was.
Okay, cool. I might have to check that out.
Surprisingly, it's called The Last Door, but it's the first game these guys have ever made and the first game of the series.
Well, yeah, that's happened before, so take Final Fantasy, for
I want to know
example.
what happened to the first door.
That's the
Or the
prequel.
in-between doors.
They're the prequel episodes. Don't worry about it.
If you want to know that, you will have to play the game.
Do you play
there
in
you
English
go.
or Spanish, Jade?
Sorry?
Do
I
you
didn't
play
play
in
it
English or Spanish?
I played it in English because like I said, I did it on stream, and once decided that all our streams will be in English. So no playing it in Spanish. But the English translation is a little weird, not really wrong, but a little weird on some places. And so I always wonder, what might have the Spanish original been?
Oh, if it's been literally translated, sort of thing.
I don't know. It's like I said, it's not wrong. It's just it sounds a little bit poetic in a way.
All right, interesting.
It's-
I don't know about that. I can only just barely speak English, so I don't know if I'll have any difficulties there. Okay.
No, you can barely speak American.
Fucking barely speak.
Darn Brit.
Pieman, what have you been playing recently?
I've been playing Fear Equation by Screwfly,
Ooh.
and last night I was playing some Crisis 3 because Dizzy Plays and
Wow.
we were talking about Crisis for some reason. Something about it not being on GOG and why it wasn't. And I hadn't played the original Crisis. I'd only played Crisis 2.
Yep.
And it was all right. I saw a lot of potential there with the way with the suit, with making it invisible, and you can make yourself more armor. It was really cool, but the game didn't really give you much that you could do with it. It was a very, very linear game.
Yeah.
Crisis 3, once you finally get to the point that you're stopped being escorted around by this guy called Psycho,
Yep.
which is like a couple hours in the game, once he's finally gone and the game lets you actually play it, it's not bad.
Cool.
It has larger levels that lets you actually move around and do stuff. It's a beautiful looking game. CryEngine 3, I believe. I was playing Lich Battle Mage. I streamed it earlier in the week, and to go from that and to go to Crisis 3, they're both in the CryEngine 3, and they're both just really, really good looking games. I do have to say Crisis 3, I like it better than Crisis 2. It does still suffer from the... This would have been really cool if I could have done that instead of it being played in a cutscene kind of thing that you get from modern shooters. But I like it better. And also, some of the enemies, it's really, really hard to get through an area. I was playing it on, not the highest difficulty, but the second highest difficulty. And the enemies, if you do anything while you're not invisible, they'll see you. So... It's a little bit janky here and there.
Right.
And the enemies in some areas, if it's not a linear box area, they'll just keep spawning, so you can't get rid of all of them.
I hate that.
Whoa.
But I liked it better than the second one. That's
Yeah.
much I can say about that. But Fear Equation was a game that I did not expect to really like. Fear Equation is by Screwfly Games. They were previously known for the worst titled game in the world, which is Zafe House Diaries. It's the worst name.
Yeah.
But they also made Dead Knot. And Screwfly, they're a very, very clever developer because they're a small studio. I believe they're from Australia. And they make big games, but they make them very immersive. So, like, in Dead Knot, you were controlling, like, a squad-based tactics of going through, like, junk spaceships. But you did it all from, like, the pilot seat of a spaceship. So you weren't actually out there seeing them. You were kind of like the guy who was on the other end of the radio. And it allowed them to make a big game without having to show in detail every little tiny thing, so you can manage that. Fear Equation's the same, something similar, except this time you're on a train. It's kind of got like a Snowpiercer idea, but there's people you're trying to get survivors to get out of a thing called the fog that will kill everybody, and you need to keep the people happy who are on the train, or they will throw you out of the train and take it for themselves. So you got to manage making people happy. You got to manage having resources. You got to manage keeping people alive. It's a little bit repetitive because every single day is broken up into, okay, you wake up, you do the lottery to see who's going to be sent out on a mission, if there's a mission. Then you give your people work orders to set up defenses against the fog enemy if it creates an enemy, or you upgrade the train, make the train work better.
He said frog enemy then.
Fog.
Just imagine this giant frog. Sorry, carry on.
Then you have the work thing where the phase where they do it, and then the guard phase where you would go out and you would scavenge supplies if you were actually at a stop, and then you'd go to sleep. You actually have to go to a bed, go to sleep, and then wake up and do the same thing. So you're all in the engine cabin the entire time, and everything's happening around you. So the game is much, much bigger, or feels much bigger than what you're actually seeing. But because you're only seeing a small bit, Screwfly is able to make a large game on a smaller budget, which is really, really smart.
Nice.
I talked a lot. I'm sorry for talking.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. I'm trying to search for Fear Equation on GOG really quietly because it sounds really interesting.
People in chat seem to really like Fear Equation.
Yeah,
it's a bit
yeah.
hard to get into because it's a bit complicated, but once you understand the basic controls, it's not too bad. I
Oh,
might
I see
stream
what you
some more of
mean.
it, maybe.
It seems
And,
interesting. Yeah.
And you really should have a look at the VOD of MegapiemanPHD's Sphere Equation stream, because he actually explains the game at the start of the stream. And I was told that this is one of the best tutorials people ever saw of that game. So go for
I'm
it.
surprised.
Excellent. You do have a way of, I've got to admit, you do have a way of kind of accidentally explaining how to play games as you play them. Because sometimes games, you just do it. Sometimes games don't give you the information that you need. So you find it out. But then by saying kind of like, how does it not tell me that this button does this? You're actually informing people, oh, by the way, this is the jump button, this is the use button, that sort of thing. So it's an entertaining sort of informative video.
Well, that's the thing that Screwfly does a lot. A lot of their games are, from the two that I've played with Dead Knot and Fear Equation, a lot of them are sort of based off of trial and error, so you have to sort of learn what to do. Fear Equation is very intimidating because the way that you learn how to play it is that every different station will have post-it notes you can read, and they'll have like a book that you can look through that's a manual. So there's a lot of information that's thrown at you all at once. Dead Knot isn't as bad, if for the point they don't throw a lot of information at you all at once. Some of it they just don't tell you, and you got to figure out on your own. I've not played Safe House Diaries, so I can't talk about that one. But even though they're a bit more complex, I think Screwfly. I haven't seen anybody else make games the way Screwfly does it, and I think what they're doing is really cool.
All right, cool. I'm interested. I am genuinely interested now. You've got me interested. It's pretty cool. Is that what you've been playing this week?
That's it. That's about it. Just the only thing I've been playing that I didn't stream was Crysis 3, and I already talked about that. So.
I enjoyed Crysis 3. I've got to admit, like you said, I enjoyed it more than the second one, and I never ever had, before streaming, a PC able to play the first one at all. So it was always one of those, but can it run Crysis? And it was like a case. It was always a case of nope, nope.
Well, Crysis 3 is a couple years old at this point, and it still looks good. It's got sections that are just filled with like tall, dynamic grass that moves in the wind and moves and moves around. I can't say I've really seen a game do that, because normally that's really taxing on your computer system.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, those guys are black
wizards
when it comes to that stuff. You know,
making
graphics. Like the first one came out in 2007, and it's just like it blew away like everything else.
Yeah.
And they're still working on amazing shaders and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
but
very true.
you guys definitely should check out that first one. The first Crysis is by far the best. It's
really
like totally open, so you don't have to go like, oh, I don't have to go down here. I can go over this hill. You know, throw logs down on people, and it's brilliant. It's really one of the best games I've played.
Oh, nice.
Well, Crysis 1 is basically, from what I understand, it's basically Far Cry with a power suit.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Like
yeah,
the first
And
Far Cry.
no crazy mutants. There's aliens instead. Yeah, aliens. Yeah.
Cool. I might have to dig it out. I've got it somewhere. I just have it's in a pile of games somewhere. Probably similar to the pile of games that's currently behind yourself, Leon. I kind of have to. It's a nice collection. I kind of have
everybody
to.
Right now sends email or a letter to EA asking them to get Crysis on GOG. It'll happen.
They'll still not
It'll
do
happen.
You never know that there are EA games on GOG. And
I know.
I mean, hey, last year we got Bethesda on board, so
you
nothing
never know.
is impossible anymore.
You never know.
So,
we are a force to be
just
reckoned with
try
these
it.
days. Till we decide to use our powers for evil and just decide to take over a different store every now and then, just this hostile takeover.
That's
But moving,
GOG, there we'll get Ubisoft. One of these days we'll get Ubisoft. We'll get Nintendo on GOG. Come on, do it. Bring it on.
I want Capcom.
Capcom games would be pretty cool, I must admit.
I think there are one or two Capcom games already on there, but it exists a PC version of Breath of Fire 4.
Oh yes.
And yeah, so I want to see that one on
Yeah,
GOG.
that's a good shout.
I've been pushing this wish list entry, I think, from 170 wishes to now several hundred by plugging it everywhere.
That
So
is
yeah,
an excellent
Capcom,
segue.
listen to me.
That is
Please,
an
Capcom.
excellent segue, actually. Just to very quickly answer one of our readers' questions. Some people are asking every now and then about how can we get Game X or Game Y on GOG.com. The best bet is to go on GOG.com/wishlist and either look for the wishlist in general and then put a wish towards it, or create a wishlist for that specific game, because that is actually where GOG get a fair chunk of their inspiration for what games they actually source from publishers and developers. So yeah, check out the wishlists on GOG.com. Sorry, I just kind of wanted to cover that.
One aside to that, let me just bring it up. I have been trying to get this game as high on the wish list as possible for the past week or so.
Go on, give it a plug.
Everybody who's in chat right now, follow this link and vote for Slime Rancher to come to GOG.com.
Please do that.
We're at 62 votes. It started
62
when I found
votes.
it at 40 or like 39 to 40 something.
Yep.
So let's get Slime Rancher on GOG, people. I want to play it, and I can't play it because I have no money. So we got to get it on GOG so I can play it.
It has cat slimes.
Brilliant.
There's complete outside motives for me wanting to get this on GOG. I will be honest with you. It's complete outside motives. But it fits for the games in development.
Nice.
It's perfect for GID. It's perfect for GOG. Come on.
Excellent stuff. I love it.
People, the Breath of Fire 4 wishlist entry suddenly jumped up to 1,500 votes.
There you go. The people have spoken. Let's get this happening.
Capcom!
I know someone at Capcom. I'll make sure they're aware of it. Don't worry about it.
Yes, please do that.
Drop some filthy names. Yeah. So Flaose, what have you been playing recently?
Well, I actually played some games this week. A few more than before.
For the appreciation of our audio only listeners, PiranJade is currently holding Breath of Fire 4 PC edition in front of a webcam, just to remind people what they're voting for.
What we're talking about here. We need to focus.
Sorry, Flaose, carry on.
No problem. So I did start Link's Awakening, the Nintendo Game Boy game on my own channel.
Not yet available on GOG.
Not yet available on GOG, but who knows? Maybe we'll have an animation someday.
It's in the future.
Someday. Besides that, I've been playing a lot of Tabletop Simulator still, just fooling around with that, doing some nerdy Star Wars stuff. And
that sounded so nefarious.
And then I've got back into Rogue Legacy, actually. I've been playing that quite a bit the last few days. Such a fun game. I'm so bad at it, though.
Yep.
I still haven't.
That's okay. Everybody's bad at it.
Yeah. I haven't finished the second boss. I haven't even beaten the second boss. I don't think I've even seen the second boss yet. So
my best run was when I played it on GOG as a random stream, and I got so close to the final boss in the 2-hour mark.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I got really, really close. I think I defeated 3 out of the 4 bosses, and then you've got a 5th one. I got to the boss and got a decent strategy, but it just kept killing me. So.
That's
which
impressive.
is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It'd have been impressive had I actually done it. Had I been successful.
I was still impressed.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much.
Very good.
Yeah. Obviously, as I always say this when Flaose is on board, don't forget to follow him on Twitch, because he does do some fantastic playthroughs of the Legend of Zelda games. And at the moment, he's one of my go-to channels in regards to whenever I just want something to watch on Twitch. He will be one of the people I go to. That and MegapiemanPHD streams. And actually, in fairness, most of the stream team, I will end up watching their own personal. If they stream on their own channels, I will end up going to their own channels and sort of watching them, as well as watching the videos on demand here, just because they are just entertaining. In all fairness, so yeah, make sure you follow streamers as well.
Thanks.
Such a courteous host. Don't follow me. I don't stream. This is all I do. So what have I been playing recently? I have been playing a bit more of The Witcher 3, which is really cool. I've banged on about The Witcher 3 quite a lot, but it's still nice just to wander around and find new stuff to do, and wander and find notice board jobs and Witcher contracts and this sort of stuff. I did.
Witcher 3, that's another game with dynamic grass. It's not as tall as Crysis 3's, but it's
oh my days, the weather. I mean, I know full well, like, GOGCom and CD Projekt Red are owned, so they're part of the same family. But oh boys, you guys nailed that weather. Oh boy, that weather effects in Witcher 3. I mean, I was walking through and suddenly it was it went from being really, really sunny to being like a full-blown storm, like lightning, rain. All the trees were starting to bend one way because of the wind, and I'm walking through and I'm like, I'm replaying a bad decision with a scum save, and it wasn't like this when I played it first time. I don't know what's going on here, but those dynamic weather effects, oh boy, are they pretty.
Don't forget, it has dynamic weather effects and dynamic realistic beard growth.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
Only game in existence. The only one.
Yeah, a subject that is very close to my heart. I am a fan of.
What's something we can do? Well, we can give him a dynamic realistic beard. Do it.
Can you imagine the meeting? Everyone's just sat around in a boardroom and they're just like, what can we add to make this game the best in this series? And someone just everyone's dead quiet, and someone just leans forward really slowly and goes, beards. That's what you need.
Perfect.
And everyone's like, that's it. Give that man a raise. What else have I been playing recently? I've been playing This War of Mine. Oh boy, how dark is This War of Mine? It is available on, I believe it's available on GOG.com.
Yes.
But I've been playing it on PlayStation 4 because somebody randomly gave me a code for it, and I've not played it before I actually played it on PlayStation. But yeah, it's a hard game. Oh boy, it is a difficult game. Essentially, what you've got to do is you've got to kind of run and maintain a like a hideout. It's wartime basically, and you've got to keep your survivors safe in a hideout. You've got to patch up holes. You've got to fend off raiders, or rather protect your house from raiders. That's something you got scavenging every night, that sort of thing. And it's just, I don't know, it's just this very bleak, dark game, and it kind of works because there's not, something bad's gonna happen at some point, and you kind of have to come to peace with this sooner rather than later. Because if you go in, I first started playing it, and if you go in with the attitude of, yeah, I'm gonna save everyone, I'm gonna be the goddamn hero, you are not gonna come away from that with a good attitude. You're gonna sort of go, oh no, Bruno broke his leg and fell down the stairs, and someone stubbed their toe, got an infection and died, that sort of thing. You're just like, you've got to come to terms with the fact that it's going to be a bit of a depressing game. But as long as you're happy with that, then it's an interesting game, and one that I've not really seen that done before, which is pretty cool.
Have you been able to beat it yet?
No, I haven't. I've only played it a couple of times, so, and I'm not.
I beat it once. I had one survivor, and she was not happy.
Oh right. Do they have like an epilogue? Do they have like, oh, this happened to this person?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
None of them are like good from what I've seen. No matter what happens, nobody ends up happy in that game.
Well, yeah. This War of Mine is a bit of a...
The one person I had survive, it's like, you're alive. That's like the best thing going for you right now.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens with that, to be perfectly honest. Because like I said, I know, and Pyrofox in chat has just rightly pointed out, happy with that is maybe the wrong term. If you've come to terms with the fact that this is going to be a depressing game, and this isn't going to be a happy ride, then, you will have an enjoyable experience. But it's making the best of a terrible situation, and it's how well you can kind of manage that.
Is it worse? Is it worse for you than Shelter?
Yes. No, absolutely not. It's not. It's not worse than Shelter 2. I've still got the emotional scars from Shelter 2.
Okay.
You're not let off the hook that easily, PiranJade. I'm sorry. One day I will accidentally play a game that will make me distraught with emotion, and then I will go, do you know what? I'm okay with Shelter 2 now. I'd rather go and play this. Until that point, no, you're still to blame for that one, I'm afraid.
Okay,
so I think we may have covered what everybody's playing, and that's kind of like I've said before, and I will say again, it is my favourite section of the podcast. I know I say that about the entire podcast because I do love doing it, but it is genuinely my favourite part. So it's a special time where we get to answer your questions. So if you've got a question for any of us specifically, then just tag us in chat with @ and then our names. I believe, well, you know our streamer names by now. You know our Twitch handles. And also, if you've got any questions specifically for our developer, are you in Twitch chat at the moment, Leon?
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
LZ.
Are you just under LZ?
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. So if you tag the person who you want to ask a question to, will kind of just butt in as and when. But obviously, as per usual, we sent out some social media blasts earlier on, so we do have some pre-gathered questions. So we're going to go through these as quickly as possible. We will try and get through all of them. Sorry, Megapieman, did you say you had a question a second ago?
I have a question.
Yep.
Do I? This isn't the question, but do I need to type my question in chat in order to be able to say it?
No.
Okay, good. My question is for our developer friend here,
Yep.
which you might have asked this one before, but I unfortunately had to go do something quick, so I don't know if you asked it. The question I have is, now that you guys have put out Bombshell, and you guys, a couple of years ago, you did the remake of Rise of the Triad.
Yeah.
What is kind of next on the list when it comes to you guys? Because unfortunately, like, Blood is
bloody good
owned
question.
by Monolith at this point. Duke is owned
Yeah.
by Gearbox. Shadow Warrior is being handled
Redneck
by
Rampage.
Flying Wild Hog.
So
are you
we
thinking
do
of
have
bringing
some
back?
we do have some things in the pipeline. We don't like to say what they are because of all
Can we
the-
see like
legal
a
reasons.
new Blake Stone game or like
well,
any return of
Blackstone
something
is
like
interesting.
that?
Blackstone is actually open, as far as I understand. That's one of the IPs that's still in the vault, if you will.
So that's not off the
so-
table.
Yeah, it's not off the table.
Yeah.
I've just been sent a message here from somebody I work with that says,
Don't talk about this game. Don't mention
no,
this.
he's like, he says, I
Disconnect.
can tease that we're working on a sort of a spiritual successor to a classic, sort of id Software game, with a certain young man with a helmet and
Commander Keen.
laser gun.
Yes.
There you go. GOGCast
Commander
exclusive.
Is a
My
big
go-to.
fan of Keen.
So wink,
He
wink,
is, he
nudge,
is.
nudge, hint, hint.
You could say he's keen on the idea.
See what you did
Yeah.
there. That is fantastic. I
You
love
heard
it
it
when
here
people
first
just
on
drop
the
stuff
GOG
like that.
Bombcast, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's well underway. So yeah, Peter, I'd say look out for that. We'll probably make some posts about that soon. So yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. What's the best place for people to get in contact with your company?
Definitely Facebook,
Yep.
Twitter, emails, 3D Realms boards, Steam forums. We're all on all of them all the time. We will answer all questions. You know, we're actually a small team, even though it says 3D Realms. We're actually like about 10 core people, and then there's all sorts of people from around the world that we all get for specific things. So it's actually quite sort of friendly small team. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. So, official GOGCast exclusive of a possible hint, reveal, tease. There you go. That's about as ambiguous as I'm allowed to be, I think, without
Let's just
involving a
hope
lawyer.
It goes better than most things that are talked about. Unfortunately, usually when you say it on GOG.com, that instantly means it's not going to happen. So
Oh wow.
let's hope that doesn't happen.
Nah, I'm sure that curse has passed. Don't worry about that. So our readers' questions. Trellius from Twitter basically asks, is there a special place on GOG where we can vote on the development games to be added to GOG like other games? Yes, GOG.com/wishlist. Try again. GOG.com/wishlist. Is it wish list? No, wish lists, sorry. And then search for the wish list for that game and then add your wish to it or create one. There you go. Mark1642 asks, how far in advance does the team get notice of new releases so you can plan your streams? That is probably best answered with the answer, it depends. So we work on information sourced from GOG.com, the actual official staff members, because don't remember, all the stream team are volunteers. Essentially, we don't have access to their proper core information, like their internal stuff, but we get access to stuff that's been approved for us to know about. You're probably talking, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe a month, depends on the actual title. If there's something big in the pipeline, then we know a little bit more in advance, but other than that, excuse me, it's probably about a couple of weeks. So there you go. Unless I'm getting it completely backwards, but then
Cool.
someone just interrupt me.
Sometimes it's a game will be released and we will have no heads up about it at all.
Oh yeah. That's like maximum. It'll be a couple of weeks. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we released this game, in like 4 hours. Who wants to stream it? That's happened more than once.
It's usually MegapieMan.
Yeah, it normally is actually. We normally just slide it on MegapieMan's desk. We're like, we'll just leave that there. You're on intent.
Sometimes it's the thing. This game's supposed to release sometime today. We don't know when. And then you get a situation like Nuclear Throne where it just doesn't release until months later.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Absolutely. Where am I? Heimdall Plays from Twitter and also GOGCom community member asks, late question, since this is the GOGCast, will you be talking about the games on sale and what is coming up on GOG? Normally, yes, we will talk about the games on sale. Normally what we would like to do is we'd like to talk about sales that are upcoming so that you guys have a bit of a heads up, but the flow of information needs sorting out a little bit. So essentially that is kind of down onto myself and Outstar Walker. We kind of need to talk to each other a little bit more and a little bit better and a little bit more efficiently, basically to say what sales we're allowed to talk about, what sales are currently on, that sort of thing. So with all the information in regards to developers coming into chat and actually getting the running order sorted out and all the social media stuff and all those sort of sexy shenanigans, we kind of don't have at the minute the time to sort out what sales are currently on. I know it sounds very simple, but it's actually getting all of the minute details correct, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to turn around and say, oh yeah, this game is on sale at this time for this price, and actually the GOGCast go out a little bit later than the sale was actually on, or time zones be slightly different. So it's just kind of, it's in the pipeline to let you guys know about sales that are currently on, but that's not currently something we're advertising on the GOGCast, but it will come soon, do not worry. Where am I? Our very own Vlad asks, he asks, question 1, how do you properly prepare / cook a jambalaya? And question 2, is it better to shave or wax? Men too. I only shave my head. That's about it. Anybody else?
Question 2.
Yep.
Question 2, the answer to that is don't.
Absolutely true.
In my younger days, I waxed my chest once or twice. It was not a pleasant experience, I'll tell you. But it was so silky smooth. Holy cow! So I recommend the After Effects
experience.
I may have. So the end result was wonderful, but the process was terrible.
Yeah.
So
the destination was great.
My goodness.
Interestingly, I do actually have kind of an answer for question 1. The best way to cook jambalaya is slowly. That's how you cook jambalaya. It takes you a number of hours to cook a good jambalaya. I don't know this because I don't cook food. I just warm stuff up in microwaves and ovens. But I've watched my wife cook a number of jambalayas. It sounds really bad, but
I've got an answer for you here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Add rice in chicken broth, bring to a boil, cover, reduce heat to low and simmer 20 minutes. Stir in tomatoes, the next 3 ingredients. Stir in shrimp and green onions. Cook 2 to 3 minutes or until shrimp turns pink.
This sounds an awful lot like a Google answer.
It's because it is.
Just take your favorite meats, chop them up, throw them in a pot with something to simmer in, and just let it sit there.
There you go.
And you have jambalaya.
One jambalaya.
I have this feeling that the moment years back when Little Pie Man got access to the internet, it was somehow the day the force shifted.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Suddenly he had all the answers, and then it went from there.
I'm not 100% sure if I want to ask this, but Mark OK, who is Hovenal on Twitter, asks, question 3, zip or fasten then zip?
What?
What
is that about?
This is for the men of the room. Yes.
Are we referring here to pants?
I'm a fasten then zip chap.
Really?
Yes.
I find it so much harder to zip after fastening, but maybe that's just me.
Wow.
I don't know.
I will use my previous answer for number 2, which is neither.
Nice. Pants? Who has pants? Okay, so hopefully that we've not lost too many subscribers, and also that's answered your question. And Pyrofox says, And for the entire cast, what games in development games are you most hoping to see on GOG? It's very important. This is our own personal opinion and should not be taken in any way, shape, or form as an opinion of GOG or their employees. But that being said, let's have some opinions.
Well, I can
Doom.
recommend one game. It's called
Upcoming
Slime
Doom.
Rancher. It's got a wish list thing going. It's a game about going to another planet and ranching slimes.
Yes,
You can vote for it. You can vote for it following that link right there that I just posted in chat.
There you go.
And let's try to get this game on GOG. There we go.
There you go. Is it a game in development game?
Yes, it is.
It is. There you go. Slime Rancher. Leon, did you say the upcoming Doom? Well, technically, yeah, it is a game in development. I'm just not sure if it's going to be in. It's
There's a little bit of a joke there.
Yeah.
It's got a
not
release
100%
date.
sure.
It got a release date.
Yeah,
today.
it got a release date today. That's right.
Well, I'm such an Uber fan, so happy to see it. DRM free.
I'm glad they got rid of that red filter from Doom. It looks
we'll
like
see
in the
how
newer
it turns out.
screenshots. Yeah.
If we could get new Doom on GOG, that would be the happiest day.
Yeah.
I'm happy enough with old Doom. I'm glad old Doom came out finally.
Hey, Matt. Yeah, I spent most of my Christmas playing old Doom. Oh boy.
We still
That's
got to
a
get
good
game.
3 on
Such a good game.
Still, after all these years, you can just go back to it. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mods out for it now are amazing.
Yeah,
I saw
I've made
that.
heaps of mods for it. So
Yeah, I've only
There's
just gotten into
there's
them.
too many mods.
Yeah, I've
No, there
literally
isn't.
only just gotten into them.
come on.
Did you guys? Sorry, this is totally off topic. We don't have time. But did you guys
Yeah.
play John Romero's new Doom level that he released like
Yeah,
a month
hell
ago?
yeah.
No,
That was
I haven't
amazing.
yet.
It's pretty
incredible.
good.
Is it good?
It's so much harder than.
It's really good. It's
Yeah.
hard at the start, but then it sort of it gets going. It's great.
Yeah.
The only thing I know
Really
about
nice.
it is that there's a room that just starts teleporting in enemies all around you, all over the place if you
Yep.
try to go through
Yep.
a door. That's
That's,
just
that's
hell.
like the first part of the
That's
level.
like most of them.
mean. That's flat out mean.
It's not
Um,
mean when you can run 1,000,000 miles an hour and carry about 50 rockets in your backpack.
Yeah, that's very
Woo.
true.
It's fair.
Yeah. So what other games, like games in development specifically, what other games can we think of?
I really don't
Don't-
follow games in development. I'm sorry.
See,
Don't Starve Together.
Don't Starve Together. Is Don't Starve Together still in development? Or is
Yes,
that-
it is still in
I
development.
see. Yeah, in that case, yeah, one of my answers is going to be Don't Starve Together. One of my original answers was going to be Darkest Dungeon, and then that got released. And there was another one as well. I think if thinking of games in development, I was actually going to think of something like TerraTech or Project Zomboid because they're a couple of the games that I've actually followed their development of, but they're already on here, so I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I think Don't Starve Together is probably going to be my default answer.
There's a new Torment game called Torment Tides of
Oh my
Numera.
god, I forgot
Yeah.
that even existed.
That it's currently on early access. It's by In Exile
It
Entertainment.
is.
Considering
nice.
that Wasteland 2 is on GOG,
Got me
there's
right
a
in the
chance that we
feels,
might be
man.
able to get that. I
That'd
know
be
you
cool.
people like Torment a lot.
I'd get that.
Yes, absolutely.
That's an odd thing to have just come out of my face. I know you
Yeah.
people like Torment a lot.
Yeah.
Do you want me to quote it?
I don't. It's just that's not something I thought I
I
would
know
ever
you
want to
people
say.
like Torment. So, we had a question from chat from Nightwolf83, but unfortunately it's not shown up, and I'm not entirely sure what he wants to ask. But Nightwolf83, if you are in chat at the moment, please ask a question. We've also got a question from Tekan Gia, who says, how many of the GOG stream team have met each other in real life? I've met one person. That's one of our moderators. I can't remember actually. Yeah, I've met one of our moderators. That's about it.
Centeria. You met
PiranJade and
Centeria.
EA meet all the time.
Yeah,
that's
I'm,
true.
and
Yeah.
I have actually met the Crocs 2 years ago. So
Ah.
far before we were on the stream team, I met him at Gamescom on the GOG party actually.
Oh, nice. Excellent stuff. I really
So-
need to go to Gamescom. I need to meet you guys. To be perfectly
And
honest.
Nightwolf asked, question for PiranJade. I'm curious as how to she came up with the idea for unarmed streams for the UU games.
a good question.
How did
It's a
that
good
actually
question.
happen? I think it's. I was curious if it was possible for the first Ultima Underworld, and so I tested it like alone at home, and it was like for a few hours, and I was like, hey, this actually works. Although the internet tells me it doesn't. The internet says like poor desperation, not good, don't do this, don't go unarmed, and it worked really, really well in the end for Ultima Underworld 1.
Nice.
Even compared to my playthroughs with weapons, of which I did a few, so I just decided to try the same for Ultima Underworld 2, in which it is a little harder, I have to admit. So yeah, but we're getting there. No problem. We punch trees, all
Yep.
good.
Punch trees and it's not Minecraft. Excellent stuff. 10 out of 10. I think that might be it. I think we might need to close this bad boy up. I've forgotten we were finishing early for our Unreal Tournament Championship.
Oh yes.
Just to make members in 8-Bit mad, a game we could see for games of development is Descent Underground.
I don't know what to think of that because I love Descent and it's kind of it's. I'd
a
like to
middle
see more
finger to the
open
community.
stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be getting it
Yeah.
because I love Descent. It's like the first actual physical game I bought, and I still got the big box up there right next to me. It's awesome.
Nice. Large boxed PC media. There is nothing quite like it.
8-Bit's
Yeah, but there's a sample of my stuff back here.
Yeah.
And these are on is Dark Forces on GOG?
It is.
X-Wing
Dark
is.
Forces and Dark Forces 2.
Outcast?
Outcast
Yes.
is, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
There you go.
Sweet.
So that's your GOG
And,
shelf.
X-Wing.
Oh, nice.
Wing Commander, you see, I love these types of games, so
Nice.
all the space
Nice.
games, gotta have them.
Oh, it's such a
Excellent
beautiful
stuff.
shelf. Such a beautiful shelf.
That is really nice. Quality. Right.
I wonder if these will ever become like a mega collector's items, you know, like I'll
Probably,
be like
yeah.
80 and then like people are like, oh my god, you got that.
Yeah,
You know,
probably.
7 copies of Gods from Bitmap Brothers, and
Yeah.
you guys need to get that one on GOG.
Well, funnily enough, you can actually vote for it on our wishlist site, which I keep being reminded of because I keep
You
forgetting
can
they
vote
exist.
for that, and you can also, if you want to, click on this link that I'm going to put in chat right now and vote for Slime Rancher to be on GOG.
Oh,
For those of you who are listening to this audio only, that is GOG.com/wishlist/games/slime_rancher.
There you go. And on that bombshell,
Rubble Crow
we
Pop.
are we're going to end this stream. I'd like to thank absolutely everybody for joining me this evening. Thank you very much for everyone who has watched. We will see you. I'll do the proper outros for everybody individually in a second, but we will see you hopefully within the next half an hour for our Unreal Tournament Championship to celebrate our Twitch TV partnership for the GOGCom channel. Now, firstly, PiranJade, once again, thank you so much for appearing on the stream, and thank you so much for giving us the answers to the questions that the community have asked you.
No problem at all. Chat is awesome. The stream team is awesome. I love being here.
It is a wonderful experience. Pieman, ever the elusive cowboy in my life. Thank you very much for joining us.
What?
I'm not sure. I've been on
Did you
air for a
think
while.
about that before you said it? 'Cause
I
that came off as
I
odd.
very rarely think about what I say before I say
The
it.
man is tired.
Yeah, I have a little bit.
I'll let it slide. Only this time. Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. Nice. Okay, I'll try and remember that. And my Canadian cousin, thank you very much, Flaose, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a blast. Hope to see you soon.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you will do soon in Unreal Tournament. And obviously, thank you very much once again for the lead level designer of Interceptor/3D Realms, Mr. Leon Zawada. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cheers,
Thank you.
thanks for having me.
And thank you very much, everybody. We shall see you next time. I've just lost my party hat because I'm an idiot, and I've just raised my hands in the air, and I'm wearing a party hat at a slightly jaunty angle. We will see you next time. Same GOG time, same GOG channel, 9 p.m. Thursdays. Bye, everyone. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Catch you later.